Good morning, everyone. Today is, what is today? Tuesday, July the 9th, and I'm bringing you my best Kathleen Turner voice. Haha, for those of you that are a little older, you know why that's funny. I've just got some kind of bug, but I'm all right. So let's take a look at SPY. I do apologize for this horrible raspy sound, but hopefully it goes away soon. We are at that 50% marker that I mentioned yesterday. I said, hey, listen, that's the 50% ledge here. I did say my thought would be we had a blow off top and a move back into the fade, but the shallow pullback gave us bullish price action all the way up. And now we have the close 556.40. We're struggling to get above here. We've got a very busy week that's really starting up right now. Today we've got Jerome Powell speaking. Tomorrow we have Jerome Powell speaking. We have these business optimism numbers. They don't really mean much of anything. We've got the EIA tomorrow. Couple of things in general, but Jerome Powell's probably going to move the market. We've got a couple more speakers. We have an auction, the 10-year, that's been moving the market a lot. And then Thursday and Friday particularly, we're going to have a lot of earnings. So we need to be alert and very careful. Also, for the Benzinga Pro midday reports that we did, that video is filled with different positions. I'm going to put them up and so that you can get a rank on them and then see where we are in the overall. So watch the feed for that information. All right, so what are we looking at today? Shallow pullbacks ought to be buy zones unless Powell comes in and says something that shifts the market. I believe that they are going to give us a 25 basis point move. So the pullback should be buy zones as price action continues up. Momentum is still high. So the pullback into 555 could take us to 558 and 560. When do we want to be a little bit alert and maybe watch for a deeper pullback? That number is about 553. It's the open of yesterday. Another Maribozu candlestick. Well, we really haven't had any, but this one is very much like it. Here's another almost like it. Remember, Maribozu has no shadow, so it's immediately a buying event and it closes on the highs. That's normally very bullish. So shallow pullbacks will bring buyers into the fray. The low of yesterday at 553.75, going to be a big deal, so we want to watch that. Let's go to the Qs. Holy cow, it hurts to talk. All right, so we knew that yesterday over the high was rounded about the 50% marker, and here we are, another very bullish candlestick closing near the high. We did have a pullback into the overnight, but it's holding the low, the high of several days past, 2 days past, 496.60. That pullback there ought to give us a few more buyers. We might stay congested today overall, dip into the buy frame, maybe 495.50, and then up into the 500. The top of the box for this last wave of motion and the breakout is 505. So that's what we're looking at. Now let's jump to the futures where most of us use this data. We can see everything's been triggered, moving up, right? A few sellers up at the top, but look at the buying from underneath. Remember, buying pressure comes from underneath because traders are going to say, I'm not waiting for this to come back further. I'm going to buy it now and move on. And so what have we done this morning here? We're above. We tested the high of the prior day. We're just shy of that high. That's 56.37. Everything suggests any pullbacks into 56.10 to maybe 56.20 are buy zones. Upside pressure, 56.45. And then 56.65. Interesting statistic I heard. In the last 12 to 15 years, July has given us the market top more than any other month. So I find that to be quite interesting. And you can see for the seasonality for the ES, 100% of the time over the last 7 years, July has been positive. Now, July started a while back, So we could fall off a cliff, relatively speaking. We could give up I don't know, 100 points and still be in the beginning of July. So there's movement to be made one way or another. That being said, pullbacks or buy zones. 56.26, a nice clean congestion zone that says buyers should come in there. I would take profit as you head to a new high. When you rotate to a higher low, you can add back. Let's look at the NQ. NQ on the move, well above the high of yesterday, right? This candlestick is very bullish. Its high is 20,688. We're now at 20,723. The next edge, 20,781, and then 20,993. Listen, these guys and gals who love to play the Qs, they're probably going to try to go over and into the round number above 21,000. We watch it all the time. So that's probably on their list for the week to see how it goes. What's the pullback action? A nice clean bounce off of the high of 2 days past. Maybe the close of 2 days past. 20,595 or so. Would that be a great bounce area? We're very far from our moving averages. And so if we lose 593, we could have a little rotation into the 25% area of this box. I can't even tell you how much it hurts to talk. And then we'll see what kind of upward pressure we have up here. Let's look at the halfway point. We're going to eyeball it. Looks like 21,174 on an upside event. We're very far from the moving average, so we should finally sit in a sideways choppy motion. That's my thought. YM was a great trade yesterday. Why does this look so terrible? The YM sat very still yesterday, but it did give us, this doesn't feel right. All right. 40,100. Yeah, that's the forward month. So that one's moving. Whoops. That just looks terrible. All right, so here we are at the sideways. Again, we've got these higher lows, but lower highs. So something's going to break. The broad market shows it as upside pressure potentially. So it could break to the north. If it breaks to the north, I'm going to replicate this. Oopsie. I'm going to clone it, move it up to the top. And we're going to see that the prior high, 40,358, still sitting there, but we have some pretty heavy congestion right about 40,200 or so, maybe 40,180. All right, so that's it. Pullbacks or buy zones. If we can wait and see the price action coming into or near 39,500 to 39,550, great place to stage some kind of price action. Other than that, bounces into and over this 39,874, we have to sit back and wait for it to fade to take the short because there have been a lot of short sellers up there. All right, not going to cover gold, not going to cover oil because my voice just simply cannot take it. I'll see you on the streams. Stay frosty.